So we're just advancing. Now we're at the time of the American Revolution. Here's a picture in our old square tavern. That's George Washington. And that's some of your homeschool alumni playing music for George Washington. Color picture, too. Isn't that amazing? You'll have to think about that one when you come up and see it. Again, we're just doing a little bit of local history. Then, initially, we were in Chester County. But Chester County was too big, and so they cut it up into two pieces, and they called the county that we're in now what? What county do you live in?
America.
Nope. Good guess, though.
Delaware.
Delaware County. You're in Delaware County now, but if you were here 200 years ago, you were in Chester County.
That's what we live in now.
Yeah, so here's a map. There you can see our neighbors. There's Newtown, Radnor, Haverford. So we're up to 1790, federal census. That means they went around door to door to find out how many people were in Newtown Township. And what they found out was there were 451 people in the whole township, 451 people. Today there's like 12 or 14,000. So there weren't many people in this whole township back then. Just for a little, the Indians were here. 1802, the last Indian that lived in this area died. Indian Hannah, I think sometimes you guys talk about her. 1811, this bridge that we still drive over today, it was built with money given by a man in 1811. That was a guy named James Madison was the president back then, so that's a long time ago. That bridge is still out there. When you cross over, go out this door and look, you see this bridge that was originally built in 1811. So, pretty good bridge. Now we're getting to the mills. So there were a couple of mills here. There was the sawmill. 1828, William Crossley built a cotton mill. What's a cotton mill do?
It kind of makes cotton, and it makes sheets of cloth
Right.
from cotton.
Like making blankets,
Yeah.
right?
Do you know, was it a cotton mill or was it a woolen mill?
I've seen it described as both,
Okay.
and I thought that they had brought cotton in,
Okay.
so.
It was probably cotton because the infrastructure with the South would send up the cotton, the North would make the cotton.
Right, but I was thinking, what do we have around here? Newtown at the time was all farms, so what do you have, what is one thing you have on farms? Sheep, which have wool. So it would make sense if there are all these farmers bring their wool here, rather than have the cotton come all the way from the south, but I've read that both things were done.
Which would you rather have it be, Lisa?
Well, we tell the school kids woolen mill just because there were sheep around trying to do that. But
Yeah.
that's why I asked, because it would be interesting. Maybe they did bring up, because they brought the rags in for the paper mill by train. So maybe
Yeah.
they were bringing cotton up by train from the south. Because you really, it's nice to have cotton and wool clothes, depending on the season. So.
Right. So anyway, right down across the creek where you all parked today, in that area, there was a big building with a cotton mill in it. And people lived up and down the stream in houses not as big as this. Most of them were probably much smaller than this, were just sort of shacks along the creek. But in the 1850s, 1860s, most of Newtown was just farmers. But this was where 200 people lived and worked and had their general store and went to school. It was this whole concentration of people living along this creek for the cotton mill. And here we go. In 1850, 33 families and 193 people supported by the mills on Darby Creek. This area had its own stores, tailor, shoemaker. Many of the workers came from England. So there's the workers.